What beautiful songs. Oh, just take me right back. Oh, yes, they do. Welcome everyone to our 240th Sunday gathering. Oh my gosh, isn't that hard to believe? It's crazy, really crazy. I'm Sandra Champlain. If we haven't yet met, I am joined by the wonderful Shirleyanne Sharp coming from New Zealand. Good morning, Shirleyanne. And good evening to Laura Hamilton joining us for the very first time from Scotland. So we are your trio for today, and we're so grateful that you're here. You know, the Sunday gathering was designed, of course, to give evidence of the afterlife by having a portion of it dedicated to a medium demonstration, but it's so much more than that. When we can believe that the afterlife is real, that your loved ones are still around, it gives our lives now purpose and meaning and all those good things. We don't sweat the small stuff, they say, and it's all small stuff, although it feels rather significant. But it gives us a new way to live life, really, and pay attention to what's important to us. And so each week we try to inspire you through our readings and the address and prayers and music and all those sorts of good things. So you are part of a global family. We usually have, well over 100 people, 100 to 200, I'd say, every week with us on Sundays. We may have a few less today because this is the day that our friends in the UK and Europe turn the clock back. And we always base the Sunday gathering on 2 p.m. New York time. So if anyone's joining late, feels a little frustrated, we have the replay. So no worries at all. You can catch up. A little bit about how today is going to go. Our theme today is really no theme. Talking to the girls, we chose to just do words from the heart. What's important for each one of us to share. It's always fun to do a Sunday gathering this way because it seems like the spirit world weaves it all together in such a delightful way. So I'm excited to hear what the girls are saying in the address. Speaking of which, our dear friend Laura will be doing our opening prayer. She'll also be the first to give the address, and she'll be participating in the mediumship demonstration as well, going first for that. The lovely Shirleyanne will be the second to go for the address and second to go for our medium demonstration, and she'll also be doing the closing prayer. You've got me for the reading, leading you into healing, doing the announcements, some inspirational words for the week, and then that's pretty much how it goes. If you're brand new to us, we're normally together 90 minutes-ish, just how it goes. We record everything. The link you use to join today becomes the replay link. So if you miss anything or you have to tune out early, never fear. We have the replay for you. So with that, a warm welcome, and I'm going to turn it over to Laura for the opening prayer. Laura, it's her first time on the Sunday gathering. Welcome, Laura.
Sandra, thank you so much. Thank you for the lovely warm welcome and thanks for having me. And hello everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you all today. And just for this opening prayer, just before I start, I would like to ask you, just if you can, to move any worries, any troubles, just to the side for now, just while we spend this time together. And I invite you now just to join me in this prayer. Infinite Spirit and source of all that is, we come together today for this gathering under the banner of We Don't Die. From so many towns and cities, countries and continents over the globe. But we come together as one. For we have that light of you within each and every one of us. And as that light grows stronger together, we ask that we feel the connection of you even more now than ever. And also we welcome those loved ones who have walked the path before us, those loved ones who have gone ahead before us. We ask them now to come and stand beside us, sit beside us, so that they may enjoy this gathering with us, so that we can feel their love, we can feel their healing. And we ask that this gathering be full of love, and upliftment and of strength, so that each and every one of us here can go forward into our week feeling stronger, feeling better, and that light within each of us grows that little bit brighter. And we leave this gathering in your name, which is unconditional love. And we know that this gathering tonight will be just as it is meant to be, for it is divinely designed in your name, which is love. Amen.
Thank you so much, Laura. That's beautiful. Words from the heart. I'm sure everyone can agree. That's a prayer from the heart, and we really love that. We appreciate it. Well, my words from the heart go in two different directions for the reading today. First, it's that time of year again when houses and lawns are decorated with pumpkins, ghouls, giant skeletons. In fact, my mom and I have down the road a house that on their front lawn, they have a massive pirate ship and it's decorated with tons of pirate skeletons. Pretty fun. Did you know that Halloween has been celebrated for 1,000 years? And Day of the Dead, which is often referred to as Latin American Halloween, originated almost 3,000 years ago. Now, although they're only a day apart on the calendar next week, they are very different holidays. Oh, this week, coming up in a few days. More and more people are celebrating Latin America's tradition of Day of the Dead, maybe because it's received global attention in the Disney hit film Coco. If you haven't seen it, it'll put a smile on your face. Now, both holidays focus on death, but in very different ways. So here's some trivia for you on Halloween. You can share this with people. Halloween originates from an ancient pagan festival with bonfires, jack-o'-lanterns, and costume wearing to disguise against evil spirits. And then in the 8th century, Pope Gregory III declared November 1st as All Saints' Day, and the evening before became All Hallows' Eve. Hallow is another word for saint. Did you know that? In time, this was shortened to Halloween. The tradition of dressing as saints and angels eventually became our modern day costumes, such as superheroes, witches, etc. Here's how trick-or-treating began. Trick-or-treating began as people going door to door offering to pray for people's souls in exchange for pastries called soul cakes. Now in Latin America, they call it the Day of the Dead, which is held November 1st and 2nd to celebrate our loved ones returning to earth. The first day is meant to honor children or little angels who have passed. The second day, November 2nd, is devoted to loved ones who passed as adults. You see, in that culture, the dead, well, in our culture too, here on the Sunday Gathering, the dead are considered to be very much alive, and they're still members of the community. And I didn't realize this, but many in that culture think that mourning the dead is disrespectful. Altars are built inside homes, stores, and cemeteries, adorned with family photos, gifts, flowers, candles, and food. In fact, candies and toys are decorated with skeletons and skulls as happy reminders that our loved ones live on. So Halloween and Day of the Dead are coming up soon. So I say, by all means, collect whatever candy you can. But remember, not just on those days, but every day, that your loved ones celebrate along with you. The second thing I want to talk about right now, just briefly, is other people. We can love them, yes, but sometimes we can disagree, can't we? Even having some big arguments. And this time in America, our country is divided on politics with our upcoming presidential election. And people are arguing. You can see it on social media. People even lose relationships over their political beliefs. It's crazy. Now, my favorite fortune cookie message that I've ever got says, the best place to stand during an argument is on the other person's side. Let me say that again. The best place to stand during an argument is on the other person's side. I love that. If we truly got to know why the other person feels a certain way about an issue, there can be understanding and an opening for real and honest communication. But this isn't easy to do, and here's why. Did you know that our human brains process about 2,000 bits of information per second through our senses? So that's everything we're experiencing right now, with all of our senses, 2,000 bits per second. While this may seem like an awful lot, it is not, because every second there are 400 billion bits of information occurring in the world around us. This is why you and a friend may witness the exact same event, but their description might be different than yours. Another factor to consider is that we don't just perceive these bits of information. Our minds take these bits and pass them through our past memories and subconsciously tell us how to think about what we see. For example, what are your thoughts about the ocean? We have over 100 people on our Sunday gathering today, and I bet you people feel different ways about the ocean. It could be beautiful to you. You love looking at it. Some love going out on boats. Some enjoy swimming and would have no problem being out in a boat miles away from the shore and just jumping right in. You see, I love and respect the ocean, but after seeing the movie Jaws as a kid, I have never had the desire to swim far from the beach, ever. And no, I have never jumped in the ocean when I was way far out in a boat. Yeah, not for me. So that's all because of my past memories. So the thought I'd like to leave you with is to be gentle on yourself, certainly, but also be gentle on others, especially if you have a deep disagreement. You don't know people's past, and you don't know all those bits of information that they have picked up. You don't know what's in their subconscious, why they see the world the way it is. Times can be difficult, and I know people can be difficult, but just remember, this too shall pass. Remember my fortune cookie. The best place to stand during an argument is on the other person's side. And if all else fails, I want you to think of the oyster and the beautiful pearl within it. Did you know a pearl first gets formed because a grain of sand gets into it? And that piece of sand is a huge irritation for the oyster. But what happens, right? A beautiful pearl is the result. We know people can be irritating. Yes, we do, and different things that happen in our life. And we will probably be irritating to other people as well. Well, I'm sure we will. But remember, all that irritation, all that friction is turning us into beautiful pearls. So don't knock it, but try to see life from other people's perspective. So that's it for my reading today. I hope it put a smile on your face and gave you some good information. We're going to go on to our healing segment now. And this is an opportunity to listen to a beautiful piece of music, but also to send healing to those that need it in the world. There's people, places, things, pets, animal kingdom. So much healing is in need. Those in the unseen world can use our energy and focus it to wherever it is needed to go. So with that, just have that intention for healing. You can always picture people healthy, whole, and well. And I fully believe anytime we honestly send our healing and offer that intent, that we get blessed with some as well. So you can keep your eyes open if you like, or close your eyes, be present to the song. Just have that little thought of prayer, intention of healing. And the song that Laura picked is Immortality. It's Celine Dion with the Bee Gees making an appearance. When the song is over, we'll go right over to Laura for her part of the address. So let me play this song for our healing.
Well, hello again, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed that song. It's one that's very powerful and very meaningful, certainly to me, and I know to a lot of people. So I just want to say again, thank you for having me, Sandra, by the way. It's a huge pleasure to be here. And to be on the 240th episode, that is a feat in itself. Sandra's here every week for all of us with a smile on her face, no matter what. So if you feel so called, and if you wouldn't mind, you know that raise hand button that she was telling you about earlier, can we maybe give her a little bit of an applause there, if you wouldn't mind, because of all the things that she does. I know I'm embarrassing her slightly, but I know she appreciates it. And thank you for joining in, and thank you for everything you do, Sandra. So when Sandra invited me to talk about whatever was in my heart, there was lots of things I could have chosen, because there's a lot of things I feel very strongly about, things that need to be said. And I don't know about you, but one thing I feel that is affecting us all, and probably does all the time, is change. You know that saying that there's only two guarantees in life, death and taxes? Well, I kind of want to add change onto that too. Whether it's in our own lives, or whether it's switching the TV on and watching the news, and we hear and see about the devastation in various parts of the world. Those parts could even be in your part of the world. You may have suffered a lot of change. I know a lot of my friends have. And it's difficult. Change is always a little bit easier if we do the changing, if we are the ones that's making the decision. And even then, it can be difficult. Because as humans, we like to know everything. We like to know what we're getting. We like that routine. But what's so much harder is when change happens to us. Those times where it can be relationships that fail, or businesses or jobs that are lost. And probably the hardest thing for all of us to deal with is the loss of a loved one. Now, I know many of my friends and my colleagues have the honour of sitting here with you each week, and they share with us a wonderful, inspirational story. And I know we all watch the Sunday Gathering probably for very different reasons. Some people have been here from the very start and watched every episode, so that is wonderful. And some people might be brand new. So if this is your first time, then welcome to the family, because it is a family. So, as I say, these friends that sit here and they share their inspirational stories, and I love to hear them. I love to sit at home, and if I don't catch the live, I'll always watch the replay, because it's almost like plugging myself in for the week ahead. It's having that sense of community and that we're not alone. And that's very true, we are never alone, although sometimes we feel it, and often because of change. And so that inspired story, well, I'm not going to share one with you. Now, I'm not being horrible here, but if you would, and I did this the other week, so that's why I want you to try it too. If you would just think back on your life, at all the difficult, the tremendously hard things that you've had to deal with in your life. Now, you could go back 5 years or 15 years or even 50 years. Because if we think about all the things that we have been through, that we've maybe been put through, even going back to teenagers at school, if we think of all the things, whether it be loss of relationships, whether it be our jobs finishing because the company closes, or marriages breaking up, or the loss of loved ones. We've all had them. All of us here have had those things. But we're still here. And although those things were extremely difficult, and you may be going through them right now, this change, all those things that you can think of back throughout your life that you thought you would never get through them. I mean, I bet that if someone said to you, this is what you're going to go through, and this is how hard it's going to be, I know that all of you here would think, no, I can't do that. I can't face that. I'm not strong enough for that. What would I do? But again, I say to you, you are here. And that inner strength you have, those things that you've got over. I used to hear someone say to me that there is an inner strength that just happens when things get really tough. And I used to think, no, surely not. But now I believe it. I know it to be true. So although I've not shared a wonderful inspirational story with you, you don't need one from me, because you are your own inspirational story. Because looking back at everything you got through it. And that inner strength that we have, and as I say, sometimes it comes from, well, we don't know where, but we all have it. Because we all have that little bit of the divine within each and every one of us. And so at times when there's change or difficulties, and we feel so alone, and things feel so tough, always know that you are never truly alone, because your loved ones are only a thought away. And I know people say that a lot, but that is genuinely the truth. I know that to be true. And also the other thing you have is this wonderful community, this team here at We Don't Die that does so much for us all. I know that if any of us had difficulties and we shared that on the Facebook page that Sandra runs, I know people will come and show their support. People that you don't know, you may never have heard of. But that is the wonders of this community, because we know that we don't die. And we know that we always have those loved ones, those ancestors who, let's face it, want nothing less for us than to have the best life. I know that the only thing that they don't want for us is to be sitting and worrying and not fulfilling our dreams and our aspirations. So just before I hand over to Shirleyanne, I want you to think, what aspiration are you going to do this week in your life to have that inner strength to move forward, to say, I am alive and I am going to live, to make them happy if nothing else. So thank you for listening, and I'll pass you over to the lovely Shirleyanne. Thanks, Shirleyanne.
Thank you so much, Laura. And thank you, Sandra, for yet again. Here we are, which is just amazing for us all. But like Sandra, like Laura, I'd like to talk about you. When I was thinking about words and themes from the heart, there's so much happening in the world. Gosh, so much. But one thing that we do have a little bit of control on is ourselves. So I'd just like you to consider a few things. What is your relationship with you? What is your relationship with life? What is the meaning of life to you? And do you enjoy living the way you live? You know, checking in on yourself can answer a lot of these questions. And checking in for yourself, to yourself, is a lot about mental health. It is a lot about reconnection. It's a huge amount about healing, all for each and every one of us. We are able to self-heal. We are able to reconnect with ourselves. We are able to have much more of an awareness of who we are as we evolve. And evolving is quite an interesting word, actually, because when you check in with yourself, you have certain patterns, and they may be from family traditions. They may be a taught pattern from peers. It may be a pattern that you've seen in somebody else and thought, oh, I'll adopt that. That will help me. But as we grow older, as we evolve, as we start to want the essence of our true selves, we can start to look at these patterns and see if they actually serve us anymore. And not be afraid to let old patterns go, because old patterns are safety. And as humans, we head for safety. Of course we do. But as Laura said, change. So as we move into that reconnection, if things that we did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 6 months ago, do not serve us any longer, or you think, I'm feeling as though there's a better way I could have looked at that. There's a better way that I could have handled it. And as Sandra was saying, family issues. Gosh, it's a constant in most of our lives. And if there is no better teachers in the world, it is our family. We get all sorts thrown at us. So actually taking a moment and checking in how we are. Breathe it, feel it, sense it. That reconnection of a few moments of just silence. Now, heck, why would we even want to do that? I've got enough on my plate checking in with parents, with friends daily, with children, with relations. We check in with all of them often on a daily and even multiple times per day. But gosh, the person that's making this physical body walk, drive, think, react, do we actually check in with that? Do we have an awareness of who we really are? As Laura was saying the changes we go through life, through jobs, maybe retirement, having children, buying your first home. These are all milestones in our lives. And at each milestone, perhaps there's a new evolving Laura, Sandra, Shirleyanne, everybody out there. Just how we look at things. That reconnection, that touching base, touching almost your heart, your soul, brings me around to our spirituality, because this is the basis of us. It's not the peel on the side of the orange. It's not even the orange. That soul are the pips inside. Those pips radiate out the health, the juice, the drive, what lubricates those wheels. It's not about what people think of us. It's not about how we look to others. It's how we feel in ourselves, to know that we have done the best effort we can. I'm talking about the best, not mediocre, not, hey, I showed up. I'm talking about the best you can do and going in and checking in with yourself and actually reflecting on that. Maybe I could have done that better. Maybe I could have seen that person in a different light. As Sandra says, be on the other side of the argument. But also, if you don't know yourself, if you don't have a strong awareness of who you are, how can anybody else? How can we radiate out our true, honest essence if we haven't taken a little bit of time to check on a regular basis to see how we are? And when you check in on that regular basis, and there is a feeling comes out or a thought, and that has strong emotion with it, for yourself, that's something to check in on. It's something that's affecting who you are and who you radiate. We can go to as many lectures as possible. We can go to as many classes as possible. But baseline is recognizing you. Just taking that time to breathe it and to feel it. Checking in has so many advantages. As I mentioned, our mental health. Going back to grassroots, where are you? How are you feeling on that issue? Do we need to sit longer on that issue? Do we have a feeling in there of extreme happiness because something happened? Wallow in that. Be like a little pig in mud. Take those good moments and cherish them. Put them in the bank for a rainy day. And I would like to see your bank account for a rainy day build and build and build and build. Because as we examine ourselves, as we check in on ourselves, how we feel about things changes. Oh, hang on, that wasn't so bad. I could have dealt with that a little bit better, and I see it, and I will make an effort to do that next time. I'm going to pick up and apologize to someone because I may have been a little bit offhanded. But hang on, I'm not one to apologize. No, let's do as Sandra said. Step into the other side of the argument. Be prepared to hold up your hand and say, hey, I didn't get it right. I'm not always right. Check in how that feels. Because I guarantee it'll make the other person feel good, but it'll make you feel really good. Another one in the bank. We do have a certain amount of control over us. And actually, I was listening to a lecture the other day, which really made me think, with everything that's going on in the world, we have billions of people saying, well, I can't do much. I'm just one person. And the thought was put out there, if all these billions of people got together, what a massive change we could make. So let's think about billions of people out there checking in. I want to find my true self. I want to find my true voice. I want to be able to have my true opinions. It is so not about what other people think. Legacies that people talk about. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave something behind. What I want is when I leave to know I tried my best with anything and everything. Your best can be just facing those dishes that you haven't faced for 3 weeks, maybe. Oh, God forbid. Or those bills, tending to them more regularly that are sitting on the table, looking at you, making that phone call that, okay, I haven't spoken to them for 2 months, but I'm going to make the effort. Making that apology because you really feel you should. And that will open a door. Doing those little things that make us fearful. Because believe me, when you look at fear head on, straight in the eye, what's going to run away? You're not. But fear may skittle to the door. Another one to bank. We need that account on the brighter side, happier side to go up. People talk about balance. I don't want balance. I want my bank account right up there of happiness and treats. And I want to go in there and look at my best efforts. And when I look at my best efforts, I want to improve them even more. So this comes right back to your core beliefs. And one core belief that I hold very strongly is, how can I improve? And one big factor with that is checking in with myself. How am I going? Where am I on that scale? How's my plan going? Am I where I really want to be? You know, surround yourself with those people, or maybe one that you can share with, who really, really gets you, who really, really understands you. And you can share the highs, but you can also share the lows. And you trust what they say to you. And on the other side of the card, you be that person. And when you are being that person, consider how you can improve. And again, that's going inward, checking in with yourself. How can I improve these aspects? And when that emotion arrives on particular things, again, face it. Let's not be the runners to the door. Let's not be those little cowards of ourselves. That voice inside, the soul, our spirit, is so much part of us. We walk hand in hand. We are the yolk inside the egg, which is inside the chicken, so to speak. But you know, that self-appreciation, that self-awareness, that's even that self-diagnosis of where we are right now at this point could not be more important to each and every one of us. And the interesting thing about this is no one else can do it for you. You can't go and buy a book at the shop on how to do it. It may give you techniques, but you have to do it in your own way, in your own space. But one thing I will say to you about checking in is feel it, breathe it, spend that moment. Because, my friends, it's you. It's not me, it's not Laura, it's not Sandra, it's you. And you are actually the most important person in your world. If you're not present in your life, not a lot that you do will be present either. Be effective. You know, I am a spiritualist by religion or philosophy, whatever way you want to put it. And our basis is action. Our basis is almost being that spiritual warrior, that activist for the unseen world. But I want to put that word activist next to your soul. Be that active ingredient that will cause change, that will allow you to bank the good things, the learning experiences, the ladders which you have climbed, the mountains that you have managed to achieve within your own life. Looking at the pitfalls and looking at the negative and looking at the positive, but take the positive with you to evolve, to actually learn from what we need to. If you think about yourself, you're no way the person you were 10 years ago. So let's think about our evolving medium. And when I talk about a medium, I'm talking about that everyday medium, the person that will sit on the phone with a girlfriend that's having a problem, will smile at the homeless person, will sit down and have a chat to them, will compliment a lady in the middle of a mall. Gosh, your hair looks great. She may have spent 2 hours on her hair, but you would never know. But she looks great, and not one other person has commented. So important to be aware of yourself, which radiates out, which makes you feel like you want to radiate out. So see it, feel it, and breathe it. Checking in with yourself is such a positive thing. Some days it's not as easy as others. And some days we're going to feel a bit grumpy, and the comments that come back from self may not be as pleasant as you wish, but they will get fewer because you become more aware of yourself. You become someone that you actually like. Not all of us like ourselves. Working towards that is a huge, huge tick in your evolving self. Blah, 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 blah. So important. So I'll leave you with those words. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. We can all start these practices just for you. I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for listening.
Oh, thank you so much, Shirleyanne, and thank you, Laura. Beautiful words from the heart, making a difference. Well, now we're going to move on to our demonstration of mediumship. And now we're going to let our spirit friends and families get a chance to let us know just how close they are to us. Sometimes it's really difficult to believe that they're around us, that this is all real. But between Shirleyanne, Laura, myself, and others, it's long past faith. It's a knowing based on the experiences that we've had. I'm well over 660 hours of podcast episodes and stories and such. So it's awesome that, the moment that we pass, we might have some fear and hoping it's all real. And we simply open our eyes and we're surrounded by our loved ones in a world that looks just like Earth. In fact, I think our Earth was designed from the before life or the afterlife. I really do. And it's not that difficult to believe, because when you think down to our tiniest piece within us, all we are is invisible vibrating energy. So life is a grand illusion. Seems very real, and I know it's tough, but we love this part of our Sunday gathering. So if you're new to us, or you need a little refresher course how our medium demonstration works, both Laura and Shirleyanne are our mediums today. They'll each work with two people in the spirit world, and working with two people, total of 4 people in our gathering today. Our spirit friends are for all of us. So please, I know everyone hopes their loved ones come through, but listen in, be on the edge of your seat to the readings that come through, because it happens 99.999% of the time that it's like, hey, I can use a little bit of that advice myself. So please bring them forward towards you and just feel how close our loved ones are. They continue to learn and grow in the afterlife, but they keep one eye on us. They do. They really do. They're part of our lives. They really are. So this is a joyful time. So Laura will work first, and then Shirleyanne. They will request in their own ways to those in the spirit world to work with them. I point up, but they're actually all around us. I say it's not outside of us. The spirit world is in us and all around us. The spirit friends will present themselves in whichever unique way they want to, through memories, thoughts, feelings, pictures, sounds, tastes, smells. You never know. So either Laura or Shirleyanne will give a few initial bits of information about the person that is working with them. So we want everybody on the edge of their seat. Listen in. Is this my person? Now, your person could be a loved one, could be a friend, could be a family member, could be somebody you worked with, could be somebody distant, but that you knew. They work in weird and wonderful ways sometimes, but really listen in. If you can understand all the information they give for the person, that description of them, if you can understand all of it, we want you to press your raise hand button. So this is a good time just to press your raise hand button again. I know Laura asked you earlier, but just get a feel for it, how it works. When you press it, it should say raise hand, and then to take your hand down, it'll say lower hand. So go ahead, if everyone could just press that raise hand button for me, please. What's important about this is we have well over 100 people on our Sunday gathering today. There might be a description that you hear and you're not sure if that's your loved one or not. Really, we'd like you to understand 100% of the information before you press your raise hand button. Sometimes there are 2 or more people that have their hand raised that can understand all of it. So our medium will continue to work to ideally get it where one person is left with their hand raised. So you really want to listen in. If you can't take a certain bit of information, you're going to want to press that lower hand button. If nobody raises their hand, we'll continue to work so that we get to the right person. It's not easy being a medium. These ladies are out on the skinny branches, really trusting that the thoughts and feelings and images that come to them are coming from those people, our loved ones in the spirit world, not from their imagination. So we send our mediums so much love for demonstrating. We really do. And talk about fear, Shirleyanne. I know it's, we call it excitement, ever present on our Sunday gatherings. If you are somebody that gets to work with one of our mediums, I'm going to press a button on my side. You'll get a pop-up on your screen that says host would like you to unmute, and you'll find that unmute button. Then we don't need much from you. We need the mediums to do the work, give the evidence, and all we need for you is to say yes, no, or I don't know to that information. Okay. It often happens in readings, private readings, demonstrations, that we volunteer so much about our loved one and we go home thinking, did I really have a reading? Did my loved one really come through, or did I give that information? So to prevent that, anytime you have a reading, just say yes, no, or I don't know. Let the medium do the work. It is as easy as that. Now, rest assured, if your loved one doesn't come through, it doesn't mean they're not there. In fact, they're right by your side right now, cheering on. They all work together. They can multitask. They can be in both places at once. We'll figure it out once we get over there. What we like to do before every demonstration is play a peppy song. And it's just time to rejoice. We'll send love to our mediums. We'll just picture and feel our loved ones gathered with us. And then we'll be back with Laura for the first demonstration. So we have a fun song called Higher Power by Coldplay that we're going to listen to, and then we'll have our demonstration. Here we go. That's one creative video. Cool song. Welcome back, Laura.
Thank you, Sandra. Hello again, everyone. Excuse me. So if you've just joined us, welcome. So this is the time that gets very exciting and a little bit scary because we never know who we're going to be speaking to, but I do know it's going to be one of your loved ones or 2 of your loved ones. All right, so let's see where we're going first. All right, now I do know as I start to work here with your loved ones in the spirit world, I do have a gentleman here, a young gentleman, and I know he's very excited to be here. He's also letting me know, I feel as if I want to be speaking to his mother. But I do know he is full of life and vitality, and I know he would have liked driving very fast. So can I just put that out there then, please? So young gentleman would have loved speed, and I want to speak to Mum, please.
All right, thank you very much. If you understand this information, go ahead and press your raise hand button. I know one hand went up for just a second, then went down. All right, we have 2 ladies, Jeanette and Shelley, have their hands raised.
Thank you, ladies. I just want to check with one of you as well. I don't know, is one of you sitting with your daughter at the moment? Because he is making a reference here to sister. So can you understand that, either of you?
If you're sitting with your daughter, keep your hand raised. All right, Shelley has her hand raised. And Jeanette, you just keep listening in. Shelley, if you could press your unmute button.
Hi,
Hi, Shelley. Hi.
hi,
Hi there, Shelley. Hi, nice
hi.
to speak to you. All right, so just want to check then. So you understand that this young gentleman is your son?
Uh, it would be our daughter, and his mother just passed. So I don't know. Is he very clear that he wants to speak to his mother, or is he with his mother?
No, no, I feel as if he's wanting to speak to Mum here, so I feel Mum is in the audience just now.
No, then I would say no. It's everything you're saying is very, very relevant. But I'm the mom of the daughter of in question.
All right, because it just felt to me as though it was his mum and sister that I wanted to speak to.
Mm.
Let me just work with you for a moment then, if I can, Shelley,
Mhm.
because I want to say that as this young gentleman comes through, I feel as though he had no fear whatsoever. Would you understand that?
He was wild, yes.
Yeah, this is the way he's coming across. But I feel as though, just as you said that, he's actually very proud of the fact that he was quite wild.
Uh,
No.
he certainly experienced all sides of life.
Okay, okay. Now, thank you. Now, so I just want to just feel in here because I do know that he would have loved to drive fast, and you would know that.
He would do reckless things, not so much to his own. Yes, as a young man, he did. He did things like
Oh, no, no, it's
drive
okay.
downhill and.
No, I just feel this is a lot of speeding. This feels to me a lot of speeding and a lot of rushing about. I'm not too sure. Thank you for speaking up, Shelley. Continue to listen in, but can I just check? Can I check with you, Jeanette?
Hello?
Does this make sense to you?
Yes,
Right, okay. So if you would allow, I just want to check a few details with you if I can, Jeanette. So you would understand this is son?
yes,
Okay, that's fine, thank you. This feels right to me. And you would understand that he loved doing fast things. He loved doing dangerous things, and he loved being in fast cars.
yes.
Okay. I do actually feel I'm with you, Jeanette. So thank you, Shelley, for speaking up. Right, Jeanette, let me just bring. Okay, right. This feels right because he has just said mum, and I knew I was stateside. All right. But I feel, just as he's bringing some memories through here, Jeanette, I feel as though you would know that he was even like this as a little boy.
Yes,
Yeah, because I want to say, but
yes,
very independent child.
yes,
Yes. And it's almost as though you couldn't even tell him not to do it because he would have already done it.
right.
Right. Now I feel as well, because he's showing me just as we go back, because he wants to say you're going back home. So you must have, when he was younger, certainly, you must have lived in quite a rural area.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Not real rural, but yes,
No, but I do feel there would be fields and countryside around you.
yes.
Okay. And he's letting me know as well that he would have loved to climb trees.
Oh my God, yes. He's
Okay.
broken so many things.
Okay, because he's just letting me know, but I just feel as though I wish I had his bravery, Jeanette, because I just feel as though nothing fazed him.
Sure.
Because I feel as though he would have. Let me just see here, because I feel as though there would have been things that he would have known he shouldn't do, but I actually think he wouldn't have even thought about it. He wouldn't have even second guessed it. He just was there doing it.
True.
Um, and and he's telling me, well, he's certainly making me very aware that I feel this is a memory that he must have been climbing a tree, and I don't know if he kind of fell out, but he ripped some clothing. I
Yes.
want to say he ripped his pants.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, right, okay.
Multiple times.
Right. But he's giving me the feeling here that he would have been although he was very brave, he was still very respectful of you as mum.
Yes, he's my baby.
Yes, because as I say, I know he had this independence with him, but when it came to you, um, he had this oh, and I do know as well because he does want me to say he was always very respectful to you.
Yes.
Um,
There were times when, but most of the time, yeah.
yeah, okay. Because there was almost a little bit of fear there of, oh, I've ripped my pants and now I've got to tell mum. Oh, is there a little bit of worry there as well? And okay, and he's just letting me know here. You must have done because he's just giving me the feeling there. You must have done a lot of repairs on his clothing.
No, I just would buy new ones. I'm
All
not a
right.
sewer.
Oh, no, that's fine, Jeanette. Well, let me just say, okay, so he must have broken a bone when he was younger.
Oh, multiple times, yes.
Okay, because he's just showing me this sewing things up, and I thought it was the clothes, and it was actually him. All right. And oh, but you must have a memory of him bringing you flowers, because I do
Yes.
feel he would have bought flowers for you.
I don't think he bought them. He used to pick them.
I was just about, it's when I said that, he's like, you used to pick them. All right, okay. And he's also making me aware as well, there must be a birthday or an anniversary around this time, Jeanette. Would you
Yes.
understand that?
Yes, he just passed 5 years ago, like the 24th.
Ah, right. Thank you for that because it was important for him to come in, and I know he was very excited. Now he wants to take me to the cars
Okay.
because I know that I feel, Jeanette, and I do feel you would know this, and I hope I'm not telling stories on his behalf that you don't know. But you must know about speed chases. You must know about car chases.
Maybe with the police.
But yeah, because so yeah, that's what I actually felt. But there was that feeling here of it's almost he wanted to goad them into it or goad people into going, go on, let's see if you can beat me. Would you understand that?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Right, all right. Well, let me just check into this. Now he is making reference to another gentleman of his. I feel was a friend of his. So I do feel there would be two of them in the car a lot of the time.
Yes.
Right, okay. Right, and okay. But you would also know that this friend of his, I'm not saying would take him in a different direction, but you would understand that he would sometimes push him into things and, well, overly encourage him in things.
Yes.
Right, okay. So, right, okay. And I want to say as well, you must know, I feel this is a surname, you must know the name of Clark.
No.
No, okay. Right, well, I'm going to put that to the side just for the moment because I do feel that there's something there, but I'm not sure what it is yet. Right, okay. Right, so now I know you were saying earlier on, I know we spoke that you lived in a small town. But I do feel you would know he would have gone into the city at time to drive around.
Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Okay. Okay,
He's letting you
because I
know.
so I'm saying I might be telling all these secrets. No, because I just feel as though there would have been, well, if it wasn't a city, it would have been a larger town than what
Yes.
you were in. Right, okay, that's fine. All right. Now he's just coming across here that although he was he could be quite wild. I know that
Mhm.
he had a heart of gold, Jeanette.
Yes.
And I
He was
know
sweet.
I feel he would have gone out of his way to help anyone in need.
Yes.
All right. And I want to say here that just as, okay, I feel as well that there was a real sensitive side to him.
Yes.
And that's what he's wanting to bring forward now.
Oh,
Because, all right. Because I know he's just letting me know that um, all right, okay. He's just showing me something here, Jeanette. You must have been looking at photographs in the last week or so.
yes.
Okay, and um, not to divulge your personal business, but you would have got upset when you were looking through these pictures.
Yeah. Yes,
And
ma'am.
I want to say there would have been pictures, you would have been looking at pictures of when he was a young boy,
Yes.
but he would have been with his grandfather also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and grandfather's in spirit also, yes?
Yes, he is.
Right, okay.
Both.
Okay, right. And I know he had a very close relationship with his grandfather.
Yeah.
Well, because I just want to feel, because I do feel that his grandfather's stepping forward here. There's a real feeling of love and support coming from his grandfather.
Okay. Yes.
Um, and also I want to say as well, your son, he would have sometimes got a little bit shy.
Yes.
Yes, okay, because he's just starting to, because it's almost as if this facade of him being quite wild he's now starting to realise that there's lots of people listening to what he's saying. So he's just starting to go back in. But he just wants you to know that he's very much with you, and he was with you when you were looking at those photographs the other week.
Thank
And
you.
now this actually, now I just want to just say just one thing before I leave you, Jeanette. I feel as if you must have, I don't know what this is. I feel as though you must have either I want to say a teddy bear of his.
Not of his, but I do have a teddy bear.
All right, because right. Well, you must have a sweater of his then.
Yes.
Right. Um. Right, and you still have the sweater.
Yes.
Okay, because he's just showing me this feeling of you holding the sweater and smelling it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I just feel you must have done that recently
Well,
also.
it was a shirt, but still,
It
yeah,
was
it
a shirt. Okay,
had a
that's fine.
smell.
So I just want to say, but that smell within that shirt is just reminding you that when you smell that, when the shirt's not near, that's him coming close to you.
Oh, okay. That's good to
Um,
know.
and and I just feel he's just putting an arm around your shoulders at the moment. Just to so he's very close with you, so he's just letting you know that he's there and he's supporting you, and he wants to just say stay steadfast. So I don't know if there's something happening in your life just now that you need to focus on,
Yes, there
or
is.
okay, so that's what he's just given me those two words for you. Stay steadfast.
Okay.
So I will leave his love and his support with you, Jeanette, and thanks so much for letting me work with you, and thank you to your lovely son. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeanette. Right, glass of water. Right, let's see. Let's see who I have now. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. I actually feel, I know I've got a woman with me, and this, I'm not sure if this feels like mum. But okay, but I do know that she would have loved The Sound of Music, the film The Sound of Music. And I do feel I want to speak to daughter. So can I put that out, Sandra? See if anyone can take that, please.
Absolutely. All right. If your mom loved The Sound of Music, you're the daughter. Press your raise hand button, please. Well, we have three lovely ladies with their hands raised.
Thank
Four.
you, ladies. Oh, more. So thank you for that. All right. Now, I want to say a strange thing here, but this is what she's making me feel, that this this was probably more your type of film, and so I do feel you would have watched the film before she did, but it's almost as though her love for it once she watched it extended yours, if you understand that.
If that
So I
makes
feel
sense, ladies, keep your hand raised. If not, lower your hand. Sounds like they love it just as much, right?
okay. Now I do also feel as well that I don't think she would have sang the songs, but I know you would have sang some of the songs from the film in front of mum.
All right. Liz, Stacy, and Sophia, your hands are raised. If you can take all that information. Yes, we've got some
Okay,
Sound of Music lovers
I was
here.
going to say, I've got all these lovely singers here today. All right. Okay, but I do know as well that you would have sang in the school choir and you would have sang some of those songs in the choir.
Okay. Let's see. Stacy and Fuson have their hands raised.
All right then. So, would you be able to hear their voices, Sandra?
You
Would you mind?
certainly can. Stacy, if you could press your unmute. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Laura.
Hi,
Hello.
Stacey.
Fuson, are you there?
Yes, hi, Sandra.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Fusan. Right,
Hi.
okay, so let me just work between the two of you, because I know there's a feeling here that let me just see, because I know that you would, but you must, because she's just letting me know here that you must have loved so many musicals, so many films. So can I check with, oh, sorry, say that, Fusan?
I'm sorry. Just wanted to say it's not for me. It's for my friend who's on my cell phone right now. She's listening, and she was just talking about Sound of Music a couple of days ago. I think it's her mom, but she's on the phone, so I'll be quiet. You want to say hi, Carissa?
Hi, hi.
Can you hear her?
Yes.
Yeah, are you
Okay,
able
good.
to, are you able to pass her over then if it's her mum?
Yes, my mom and I both love the sound of music.
Okay, and your name, sorry?
Carrie.
Carrie.
Kerry, thank you, Kerry. All right. So, all right, okay. And you can understand though that you would have sang in a choir.
Oh, I certainly did.
Good. But you would have sang The Sound of Music in the choir also.
Yes, yes. We sung it as a high school production too.
All right, okay. All right. Don't tell me anymore. Right. Let me just check in. So can I just check with you as well, Stacey, if you don't mind? So you would have been a big lover of musicals.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, but I kind of feel that mum wouldn't have been as much as keen on them as you were.
That's probably true.
Oh, all right, okay. So let me just check here. Now, all right. Now she's bringing me to a show that would have been on when you were children, and it was actually called Heidi. and it was set in the Austrian Alps, the Swiss Alps. So would either of you understand that?
I do.
Yes.
Oh, you both. All right, okay. Right, let me just see. Let me just see where we're going here. All right. Now, okay. Now I know that Mum would have had problems with her heart.
Yes.
Is that for both of you?
Not so much.
All
But
right.
Stacy can take that.
Yes.
Okay. Stacey, can I work with you? And if you could, if Fusan and Kerry can just listen in, would you mind?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right, Stacey, so let me just say here, because there is a real feeling from Mum of her. I want to, this is strange because I want to say the strength in her heart right now. So I do know that Mum would have had problems with her heart quite a number of years before she passed.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And I actually want to say she would have had a pacemaker fitted,
No.
but there would have been some kind of medication or something that she would have been on to regulate the heart.
Yes, that's true. That's
Okay,
correct.
that's fine, thank you. And I know just as she's coming forward here, because there's a real strong bond between you and Mum. Now, I want to say here that you must have spent a lot of time as you grew up. You must have spent a lot of time one-to-one time with Mum.
Oh, yeah. We were best friends.
Right, that's fine, because that's what I wanted to, that was what was important in going in, because I felt the feeling she's given me, it was the two of you against the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, okay. And I feel as well that she's, all right, she's starting to just bring in the hardships in life. So I don't feel Mum had life easy.
That's true.
And I feel as well that she would have shared with you about a relationship breakdown of hers.
Several.
Right, okay, okay. Because just as I say that, I feel as though there was a real understanding between you and your mum, almost to the point where you were advising her of things.
Yeah, true.
Because I feel as though it's almost as though she was coming to you as the younger person, and you were the one giving the advice, if you understand that.
Do understand that, yes.
Okay. But I do know that when she was giving you advice, she was very strong with her statements.
Yes, very.
Because I want to say that although the two of you were very close, you were very different.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because she's just talking about misunderstandings, but I think she's being a little bit let me just see here. Because I feel there was a real dominance with Mum.
Yes, exactly.
Right, because I feel as though, and I want to say, she's just bringing me here to your choice of partners and your boyfriends.
Mm,
There was a real sense of if she didn't like them, she didn't want you to see him.
right,
Would you
right.
understand that? Okay. All right, she's just saying I didn't know. All right, let me just feel into her more. But there's that feeling of because it's almost as if she's in one moment she's dominant, and then in another she's like a little child, a little girl.
That's very true, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now I know that your mum's coming through here And again, it's almost like a split personality where she'll tell people what for, but then at the same time, there's a real uncertainty and shyness about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she must have asked you to go and sort things out for her on occasion.
I don't know if she asked, I just kind of did, but I think she kind of got used to it.
Okay, because it's almost as though she would talk to you about a problem and say, how am I going to resolve this? And it's
Right.
almost as if you went off and
That's
sorted it out
exactly
for
right.
her. Right,
Try to
that's
make it
fine.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
Mhm.
okay. Um, she's just coming through with this feeling that she didn't trust the knowledge that you had.
Mm,
Because it's almost as though she is in awe of the knowledge that you had that she didn't have. Um, let me just see what this coming across, because there certainly feels like an apology here for you of the tough times she gave you, of the tough, but she's wanting to talk here about tough love. Would you understand that?
absolutely do.
Yeah, because it was very much tough love.
Yeah.
I know that Mum was very strong. I know I've talked about her opinion, but I know Mum was very strong, and I do know that she got through a lot of hard times. Would you understand that?
Sorry, I did answer you. She did, yes.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon, I never heard. And I know that, okay, she's just given me this feeling that she wanted to be the best role model for you she could possibly be.
I understand that. Yeah.
I do know that she would have shared with you, Stacey, that you were her everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and although she got a few things wrong, she's just coming in with the gratitude that you are a very strong lady.
I had to be. Got it from her.
But yeah, that's what she's saying. But she's just very much saying here, a strong lady, but with heart.
Yeah. I understand that.
Okay. Now she's just referencing here a rose. I do feel that I feel as if you bought a rose in memory of her.
I did, yes.
Okay. Well, she's just acknowledging that
Mm,
and saying how beautiful it is. She's just showing me it's almost like a red and orange or red and yellow rose. Would you understand that?
I do. Yes, beautiful.
That's fine. Well, she sees that. Oh, and she's just all right. This is funny. Because just as she went to sniff it there, I know your mum also loved perfume.
Oh, she did, yes.
Yeah, and she's just saying sorry about coming in and stealing some of your perfume. Would you understand that?
I do, yes.
Because all she's doing just now is just I hear the
Yeah,
and it's crazy because she thought that you wouldn't know, but you could smell it. So,
right.
but it was a very comical thing you had together. So, but yeah, she's very much with you. She loves the rose that you bought, and there must be just talking about the perfume. Just before I leave you, Stacey and your mum, there must be a perfume that your mum had
Mm,
that you still have.
do, yes. I
Lovely.
can't wear it though, because it does not smell good on me like it did
I
with
was
her.
just I was just about to say, but you've never worn it. So
I tried it once and like, nope.
yeah, okay. Yeah, well, listen, I will leave her love with you. She's very much around you. She very
Thank
much
you.
loves you, and she's very proud of the strong woman that you have become. So I'll leave her love with you, Stacey, if I can. And
Thank
thanks
you.
so much for working
Thank you
with
so
me.
much.
Thank you very much. And thank you to your mum as well. And that was lovely. I enjoyed that. And is it over to Shirleyanne now?
It is over to Shirley Anne. Thank you so much, Laura.
Hello, guys. Thank you, Laura, very much for that. It was it's lovely to watch a colleague working. Okay, now as I move my mind to the spirit world, I feel as though I have a gentleman here, and I actually feel at this point he is husband, somebody here is husband. So I'm looking for his wife, I feel, and I know this gentleman would have passed in hospital, and I do feel as though there would have been a concern, and I want to move to the right-hand side of my head. To the right-hand side of my head, so it could be the left of people on the screen. So Sandra, can we just pop that out there and see what we have?
Absolutely. Who can understand this information or think you can understand this information? Go ahead and press your raise hand button.
Okay, Sandra.
No
So
hands up just yet. Okay.
I will drop the relationship. So a gentleman who would have passed in hospital. Actually, I'm going to say care, but I do feel it's like a care facility around him, like with a hospital bed, etc. And I do feel as though there would have been an issue with my right-hand side of my head. So an issue with his right-hand side of his head.
Thank you. All right. Connie and Brenda have their hands raised.
Okay. So ladies, we have two people here. I do feel as though I actually feel as though there would have been a romantic relationship here, a romantic involvement with this gentleman.
Connie and Brenda, if you can both take that information, keep your hands raised. All right. We had one hand go down. Brenda, we're bringing you in. Brenda, if you could press your unmute button, please. Hi, Brenda.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Brenda. Thank you for acknowledging this information with this lovely gentleman. You would understand, though, within your relationship, he could be quite a romantic.
Not sure about that.
Okay. Because alrighty. Then Brenda, if I'm with you, you would understand before his passing, actually whispering some words into his ear that you didn't actually know whether he would have acknowledged.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Brenda. Because I do feel as though when this gentleman passed, you would understand that he'd been in hospital for a while.
Yes.
Alrighty, and you understand the issue with the head.
He'd had a stroke that left him blind in his right eye.
Okay, there we go. And you'd understand with all of this, because I feel as though he'd been in pain and stress for a while, and I feel as though that did turn his temperament to be a little bit grumpy.
Yes.
Okay, but you would understand with this gentleman, I feel as though him passing was a shock. It sort of wasn't on the cards right at that moment.
Exactly.
Okay, and I feel as though you would have rushed to his side almost, and it wasn't long before he passed when you got there. There was even a thought there that I'm going to miss him passing.
Right. I was by his side when he had his spell and ran for help.
Okay, thank you for that. That's the feeling that I have here. And I feel with this gentleman that this would have been your second relationship, can I say?
No.
No. All righty. Okay, that's all right. Now, Brenda, I do feel as though this gentleman. Actually, Sandra, can I just check if there's anybody else out there before I continue with this contact?
Absolutely. If there's anybody else that can take all of this information, please press your raise hand button.
Okay, thank you, Brenda, for being patient with me there, because I do feel there was a romantic side about him, but at one point, because I do feel as though there would have been walks along the beach together. I feel like he loved the sea, loved being by the water.
Not sure.
Not sure on that point. Okay. All righty. Then I will ask you something else, just to try and really confirm this, gentleman. At one stage, I feel like there was some painting done around the home, and there was a bit of a dispute about colours being used.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, and then I'm just hearing one of. So there was obviously a few disputes going on within your relationship at certain times.
As far as the remodel, maybe.
Yeah. And he's quite funny there. He's saying that I feel as though he's letting me know that he didn't usually win the argument.
True.
And he's also giving me the feeling here that within the relationship, you know, I feel as though you would jog along together, but you kind of held it together. You were the one that wore the pants.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I do feel that this gentleman, he was really good. He could be really good around the house when he wanted to be.
Absolutely.
The remodeling.
Yes.
And you would understand with the remodeling also that he had quite a hand in drawing up new plans.
Yes. Always on a paper plate.
Oh, it's on a paper plate. I love it. I love it. But he had everything in his mind. Now, that is something else about this gentleman. I feel often he would have ideas, but he did struggle to get them out at times. It's like, I'm so excited about it, I have trouble explaining all the detail.
Yeah, I could never understand his drawings.
He was always 3 or 4 steps ahead, and yeah, okay. But I do feel as though when you whispered in this gentleman's ear, and what you whispered, you weren't sure that he heard. For me, I feel as though he did hear, because I do feel the words were somewhere along the lines of, I always loved you.
Yep.
Okay. Because that's what I'm actually hearing from him. Now I do feel as though okay. Alrighty. Now Breda, am I correct? There's an anniversary coming up around this gentleman. Anniversary or birthday? Or perhaps just been.
Not soon.
Okay. I just felt, would you understand then a bit of a celebration within the family just been or coming up?
His son-in-law just had a birthday yesterday.
Okay, that will be there with congratulations. Okay, and with that, he's also making reference to, is it his daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel as though you would understand, because I feel after his passing, you took care of her a little bit.
Not sure about that.
With kind words, phone calls. Or I should say you tried to.
I don't know. We grieved together.
Yeah, that will be it. That will be it, that you grieve together. But it was important that he's giving me the impression, though, that it was important for you to be there with her, because I feel as though you grieved together, but she took it very, very hard, being her dad, of course. All righty. Now, I do feel as though this gentleman is wanting to say to me, because it's not very long ago that he passed. Am I correct?
94 days.
94 days, yeah. So it's still very, very raw, I feel, for everybody. And he's giving me the impression here you have trouble, particularly at night.
Yeah.
I feel as though when you're on your own, the lights are low, that's particularly when he comes into your mind. It's just an awareness here that he does come and hold your hand just for comfort. Because I know that sometimes a relationship could get a little bit off key. You guys were great mates. At the base of it all, you were great mates.
Yes.
And it's this very, as well as affectionate, but this very, I'm also your dear friend coming in just to console you, because I feel as though and I actually feel somebody around you has given some advice to you of don't make decisions right now when your mind is in the place of where it is.
That would be my son.
Yeah. Words of wisdom.
Mm.
Just allowing things to settle and really look at where you are within your life because I feel like there's a bit of a life-changing decision that you had considered. Would you understand that?
No.
Okay. Okay, but you would understand that there has been considerations for, well, decisions that you wanted to look at.
Yes.
Okay, just taking a little bit more time on that. And am I correct in saying also too, this gentleman has been cremated?
Yes.
Because there's a little bit of a discussion on spreading the ashes.
Discussion about spreading them with mine when I go.
Okay. So, because I'm feeling the discussion is around kind of where and getting agreement on that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel from your partner here, just allow a bit of time in there, and it's like the answer that's going to suit everybody will come.
Great.
Okay, so what do they say? Tread gently like angels. I don't know whether that's the saying, but just tread gently and just bide your time and allow just things to flourish in their own time, and the answers will come. I also feel as though there too, am I correct in saying that there is a member of the family that has kind of been difficult to get with the family? Am I making sense? I feel like there's a gentleman in the family, a male, who feels a little bit separate from everybody else.
His brother, maybe.
Okay. Again, there, I want to say time.
Okay.
Just giving some time. There's a feeling here of the gentleman, from his brother that he's dealing with a lot of his own stuff. You would understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, I will just say time. But Brenda, you seem to be, I want to say a little bit of sticky glue in the middle, and you're kind of holding everybody together. Would you understand that?
Middle child syndrome.
Well, I want to say to you, you're doing a good job. I
Thank
feel
you.
like you're rallying around, and you feel as though it's your job to check in with others, and there's a feeling here with your husband that's wonderful.
Thank you. We were together 50 years, so that's great news.
Well, I feel as though I want to blow a kiss to you, and I feel as though when he was here, that would be something that he would have done also.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also feel as though you helped him a lot with his dress and style.
I don't know about that. Not sure about that.
Well, I feel as though you would have helped him with what to put on and what went together. Can you understand that?
Maybe.
Okay, because he felt much more put together when you had anything to do with his clothing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. This is a gentleman that was, I feel as though, pretty relaxed around himself and you.
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a lot of love from this gentleman, and know that he's around you. And, you know, he's just letting me know that he wipes away those tears.
Thank
So
you.
it will subside because, as we know here, you're going to see him again.
Thank you.
Okay, Brenda, you have the most wonderful day and keep your chin up.
Thanks very much.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. Now, Sandra, have we got time for one more?
We do. We're a little over time, but if everybody's comfy, let's just go. I've got no place to be.
Okay. Now, I do have a gentleman here, and I feel you would know him to have distinctive tattoos, quite noticeable tattoos. And I do feel others would have noticed them as well out in public. Can we just pop that out there?
A
Yes.
gentleman with noticeable tattoos.
Yes.
All right. If you can understand that, press your raise hand button. We have several people with their hands raised.
Okay, the tattoo I'm looking for would have actually been on the side of his face. He would have had a tattoo on the side of his face. So it's
right.
very distinctive.
Hands went down.
Okay, we've lost everybody. Then you would understand if it wasn't on the face, then I'm going to the neck. I'm on one side of my face. It is actually my right. So if it's not on his face, I'll go a little bit lower down to his neck and maybe even up into the back of his scalp. The ladies who put up their hand, can we? Okay, thank you, Catherine. Thank you.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi there.
Hello, Catherine. You would also notice, like, I do feel like this gentleman loved tattoos. You would understand that.
Yes.
And you would scratch his head at the pain he would have gone through in some of the places that they are.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You would understand then some of the places that his tattoos are would have been painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do feel as though this gentleman also had some names tattooed.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I do feel that on his body. Okay, and you would know this gentleman as part of your family?
He almost.
Almost, yeah. He feels almost that adopted son, can I say?
No, not son.
But he is sort of adopted into the family. Kind of.
We were like family to each other.
Yeah. All righty. Now I feel with this man, he actually had a really good, despite the way some people would look at him because of his tattoos, he had such a heart of gold.
Yes.
He was actually quite a gentle person. I mean, we all have that twofold, and I do know there were at times he had a quick temper.
No.
No, all right. Then you would understand it would have taken a long time to get him to that point, but when he did, it was, yeah, he was quite strong.
No, I don't think this is my person.
Okay. Thank you, Catherine. Can we just
Thank you.
out there again, please?
Absolutely. Can somebody else understand this information? Press your raise hand button. Or think you might.
I can't let go of that information about distinctive tattoos. They were distinctive tattoos. And I know he had quite a few of them, and I know there was a couple of names.
No one has their hand raised. Shirleyanne.
Okay, so no one can understand that.
Well, Stacy
Okay.
put her hand up. Hang on one second. I have Stacy back. Hi, Stacy.
Hi. I was only half listening because I already had a reading. I'm sorry. This may be somebody that I grew up with.
Okay, but you would understand, I do feel as though this person would have passed earlier in life. He wouldn't have made his pension days, shall I say.
Oh no, he was 59.
59. Okay, no, that sounds too old for what I'm doing. But okay, Stacey, we'll just stay here a little bit. You would understand facial tattoos?
Neck tattoos.
Neck tattoos. All right.
I
Okay.
may not have heard everything you said before. I apologize.
That's all right, Stacey. Can we throw it out there again, Sandra, in this way of somebody here would know someone that is still alive like this, please?
Thank you. Does someone have someone alive that fits this description in your life? Put your hand up and keep it up if you could. One hand went up for just a second. Okay.
Thank you,
Here
Stacey.
we go.
Okay.
How do we pronounce your name? Ricky? Reiki? Oh, they're not unmuting themselves. We have a hand raised, but the person is not unmuting themselves.
Okay. Would you understand facial tattoos with this person, please?
We don't yet have a voice for this person, unfortunately. Oh, they put their hand down as well.
Okay. Okay, Reiki, would you understand the neck tattoos then? I can't let go of this piece of information, lovey. There are tattoos and they're very descriptive.
Their hand went down.
Okay, all righty.
Okay, we got Rosalba. Let's see. Thanks for
Rosalba.
everyone's patience. Hello, Rosalba.
Hi. My husband is still living and he has many, many tattoos. And he has some up in the chest area and he has them all over the place.
Okay,
and
thank
he does get a lot of attention about his tattoos too.
Okay, thank you. And we have got, okay, Ricky here, my son has a facial tattoo. Okay, can I, Ricky, can you unmute, please? Is there any chance you can unmute?
Just to hear your voice. No.
Okay, this is
working.
This is a facial tattoo okay, so we're going to go into the check box. So yes, my son has facial tattoos. Then if your son has facial tattoos, you would understand that your son has another young man in the spirit world, and you would also know this young man in the spirit world. Thank you. And I feel as though this young man in the spirit world, he would have been like an adopted member into your family.
Ricky, you can just press, oh, that's a no. Okay. They're putting.
But you did know him, Ricky. I feel it would have been close to your son. This person would have been close to your son. Okay, we'll take that. I do. My son has his tattoo.
His photo in my living room for years.
Okay. All righty. All righty. You would understand, though, that your son actually helped this young man out of a situation. Well, maybe several, actually.
He was a good friend.
Because I know that these two could get up to mischief together.
Probably was written in the chat box. Everyone can't see this, so I'm just reading to what.
Okay. And I do feel that this gentleman did get in trouble with the police at one point.
They don't tell everything.
Okay, all righty. But I really want to, like, the tattoos are very distinctive, and I feel as though the way he passed, he just pushed it too far. Would you understand that?
Yes.
All righty. And gosh, it's almost like a waste of a soul. I do feel as though I feel as though the way he passed, your son was nearly involved, but there was some reason he stayed behind. I feel like the night he passed, would you understand that? Is that a yes?
Yes, that's a
Yes.
yes.
And it's almost like your son never forgave himself for not being there with him. I do, and I know you've put abroad there, but I do feel as though the circumstances around his death have never been quite crystal clear.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we are moving over time, but actually, did he also have a big motorbike at one point? Greece, so he was in Greece. Would you, so you wouldn't have seen my son in Holland, alrighty. But would you understand this friend to have had a motorbike at one point? I don't know. Okay.
Don't know.
Because he looks pretty flash on his motorbike. But I do want to say to you, he did have a heart of gold. I don't feel as though he led your son astray. I feel like they led each other astray, may I say. But they were very close. They were creative and they were exciting and definitely out there wanting to live life. But he's giving me the impression here that your son he's done very well for himself. He's worked hard at changing things around. Would you understand that?
We got an absolute. That's true. I think she's writing.
Okay. And I do feel as though there's a sense of pride coming from this gentleman that your son has done that, because you would understand it hasn't been an easy road for him. Because I feel like finances have been difficult. I feel like he's been let down in relationships in the past. And this gentleman's just acknowledging this.
Yes.
Okay. Ricky, can you pass? And I want to say bro love. So it's like brotherly love onto your son from this man. It's like he's pouring his heart out, wanting to get love to your son. And am I correct in saying that there is a period with your son at the moment that this acknowledgement would help?
His photo was in the living room.
Yeah. So I will leave you with that job to get that through to your son. But also I want to say to you from him, thank you for allowing the relationship with the two boys to develop. Because I do feel there were times you wanted to put your foot down and say no more. But there's so much love there between them.
She says, thank you so much. Ha ha, yes. Thank
you so much, Ricky. I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you to Shirley Anne and thank you to Laura. Thank you for all hanging out a little longer. This is a longer Sunday gathering than we normally do, but it's cozy. We'll just stay in. So just some announcements. First of all, please know that your loved ones are with you. They're only a thought away. They'll give you memories and thoughts and things out of the blue. They all can't turn lights on and off. Just trust that they're there. I know it's a very hard thing to do, but they are. They're part of your life. Just some things coming up. First of all, if you're in one of our medium classes, whether it's Monday with Scott, Wednesday and Thursday with Carrie and Phil, Friday with Scott Milligan, trance demonstration and healing. If you're living in the UK or in Europe, sign in 1 hour earlier than you normally do. So in UK, it's normally 7 p.m. Classes start, it'll be 6 p.m. Same thing, 8 p.m. for our Central Europe folks. It'll be 7 p.m. Next Sunday, our friends in New Zealand and Australia get an extra hour's sleep. That's good. And then the rest of us, we're all back to our normal times for the Sunday gathering. Next Sunday, we have Dominic Bogue and Darren with me. Also, just coming up, we've got some great new classes that start the first week in November. You can join Scott Milligan and myself on Mondays for Trance in the Altered States. Discover just quieting your mind and feeling that gentle, loving blend from our spirit guides and our loved ones. On the Wednesday, that first week, is color and automatic writing. Discover the meaning of colors. You get to be creative and also practice automatic writing, messages from your loved ones, guides, your soul. And then on Thursday, if you're interested in getting involved with mediumship, we've got our new class, Connecting with the Soul and the Spirit World. That is for newcomers and people who have had lots of practice. It's just a beautiful opportunity to explore how our psychic sense works, blending with doing psychic readings along with medium readings. This Friday, or actually this Wednesday, our friends Kath and Mitch Shirley are going to be offering their free Grief Cafe. It's not recorded, it's just a personal time to learn about grief and get some great tools from these mediums / advanced grief recovery experts. They're really wonderful, wonderful people. And then on Friday, you can join Scott Milligan and myself for In the Arms of Eternity, which we first start by sitting for healing, and then it's a demonstration of trance mediumship. Everything is at wedon'tdie.com, including some new podcast episodes of mine. Last, just a shout out to our friends who have donated to make our Sunday gathering possible. If you're looking to donate, you can, if you don't have to, but it helps. Just go to the Sunday Gathering page at wedon'tdie.com. The last thing I want to say is going into Halloween and this time, Day of the Dead, we also often see skeletons, don't we? And I get a little grossed out because it's hard to believe we all have that within us, but we do. And it doesn't matter what we look like, what country we live in, what sexuality we have, how tall or short. Beneath it all, we're just the same. So my request is just to know that every person that you see, no matter if you agree with them or disagree, where they live, they're just a soul, a very special divine soul having a human experience. So just maybe be a little gentle on them, and be a little gentle on yourself. Look in that mirror and you're one of a kind. It's not easy, this life we live, but just be gentle and kind to yourself. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Shirleyanne for our closing prayer.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. If we could always just all come together just in that quiet moment, just that little check-in, and give thanks to our spirit world, to our loved ones for being with us today. Give thanks for that loved one sitting right next to you, holding your hand. Give thanks for that love, that spark that we can tuck into our heart as we've felt the nearness of our loved one. As we know, we don't walk alone. The other thing that we should give thanks for is living. We are in this moment right now to live our lives the best that we can. Each experience, whether it be in this life or moving forward into the next, let us try and feel and sense the fullness of the presence of that moment, as we are here to feel the fullness of life. Dear friends, just tuck a piece of the Sunday gathering into your top pocket, the back of your jeans, or into your coat. Keep that little piece of sunshine in there to help you get through the week. Pull it out when you need to, just to gain that little bit of solace, just to gain that little bit of balance. And know that your loved ones in the spirit world are always there. They're always so close. Talk to them. Be with them. Close your eyes and allow yourself to sense them being around. For all those that are going through difficult times at the moment, whether it be change or whatever is going on in your life, Just hang on to that lifeline of happiness. As Sandra has said, this too will pass. We're all in this together. We're all rowing the same canoe. So let's be together. Let's pull together and be each other's confidant, each other's shoulder, each other's strength. And leaving those thoughts with you. Amen.
Thank you so much, Shirleyanne. Thank you again, Laura. Thank you to our friends in spirit. Thank you to you, friends, wherever you are. Thank you to everyone who typed in the chat box. We're not able to write you back in live time, but we read everyone. So I mentioned the skeletons. I found a peppy little tune to just help us remember that underneath it all, that's who we are. I think you'll enjoy it. I just love that. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out for our extended version. Like Mary Alice says, we'll see you next week, if not sooner. Happy holiday. Have some fun. Bye.